Maine is known for its endless forests, clean water, and fresh air. It's no wonder Maine ranks third in the United States for outdoor activity. Fishing, boating, hunting, or exploring. Our state's dedication to pristine places has some unexpected benefits. The Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife has numerous partners across the state who work to conserve the natural resources. My name is Katie Yates, and in this series, Fishing Game Changers on Tap, we are focusing on the partners who help keep the Sebago Lake watershed pristine. Protecting the watershed not only keeps our drinking water clean, but also helps keep our Maine traditions and communities thriving. Sebago Lake is the deepest and second largest lake in the state of Maine. It's a multi-season destination for out-of-state visitors and locals alike. Sebago Lake is the primary water supply for the Portland Water District, and that serves about 20% of Maine's population. A year ago, on a rainy spring day, I sat down to chat with Laurel Jackson, a water resources specialist, to learn about the Sebago Lake watershed, what it is, what it does, and why keeping it forested is so critical for the water quality of Sebago Lake.
I'm a water resources specialist. I work for the Portland Water District. My job revolves around the monitoring and protection of Sebago Lake, which is the public drinking water supply for about 200,000 people in the greater Portland area. The lake right now has really, really excellent water quality. It's a pristine water source. The water quality is so good that we don't have to filter it before we send it down to our customers. We disinfect it 3 different ways, but there isn't anything in it to filter, so we don't have to do that. And
there are only a handful of water bodies in the United States where a filtration system is not required due to the excellent water quality. Maine is home to a few of them.
So there are about 13,000 surface water supplies that are used for drinking water, so rivers, lakes, streams, and of those 13,000, there are only about 50 that have what we call a waiver to filtration. So the government says, the EPA says you don't have to filter your source. So we are one of just 50 water supplies nationally that has that designation. So it's pretty rare, it's pretty unique. There are actually quite a few in Maine because Maine is known for having clean, pristine water sources. So like I said, we try to make sure that the lake stays clean so we can continue providing such great water to our customers into the future. And the lake is used for so many different things, all of which having good water quality is important for. Swimming, boating, fishing, people who just have camps around the lake and just love its beauty. So all of those things benefit from the work that we do.
Sebago Lake's water doesn't need an expensive filtration system. When the water arrives to taps in Portland, it's great quality.
The water quality is so good, primarily, there's a few reasons. One, the lake is really, really big and really, really deep. And another reason is because the watershed, which is the area of land that drains to the lake, is mostly forested. Forests produce really clean water. They act as a natural filter. We like to say that the forest is the filter. As rain falls, it hits the canopy. Energy from the raindrops is absorbed by the canopy, so it's not hitting the ground with such force that it just disrupts the soil. And when the rain hits the forest floor, it gets absorbed. You know how the forest floor is kind of squishy? So all of these things work together to filter the water and keep the lakes and rivers and streams nearby very, very clean.
The forest surrounding the lake acts as a natural filter. The Portland Water District works to educate landowners surrounding the lake to help keep their properties lake-friendly, as Laurel puts it. This is extremely important work because 90% of the watershed is privately owned. In order to keep the water quality at this level without installing a multi-million-dollar filtration system, the watershed must remain at least 76% forested. It's currently around 85% forested.
So it is 10% conserved? Yes.
Just 10% conserved.
Yes, yeah. So the watershed is about 90% privately owned. The Portland Water District owns less than 1% of the land. There's a group that we're a part of called Sebago Clean Waters. It is the Portland Water District, the two land trusts that operate in the watershed, Loon Echo Land Trust and Western Foothills Land Trust, and then a bunch of other conservation organizations. So we're working together to try and conserve another 15%. So we're trying to get up to 25% in the next 15 years. So that's our goal. It's about 35,000 acres, trying to protect the forest and keep it forest so that it continues acting as a natural filter.
What is the threshold for it being forested so that it keeps the lake clean?
Yep, so there is a tipping point. There's been a number of different studies done nationally and in New England, and we had UMaine do one specifically for Sebago Lake, and they found that 76% is the tipping point at which you would start to see water quality changes. So if the forest drops below 76%, we would likely start to see changes in the water quality, the beginning of a decline in water quality.
And you said it's 85%?
Yeah, it's about 85%, 84, 85%.
So what's at stake if the water quality dips? If we lose that forestation and the water quality goes down?
Yeah. There's a possibility that we would have to start filtering the water, so the water would still be as safe and as good for our customers, but it would be more expensive. It would use energy, it would cost money. With filtration, we would have to add more chemicals, so that would probably affect the taste of it. So it would just be really, really unfortunate if that happened, because we have such a great resource right now and such a great supply. It tastes good, it's clean, it's clear, it's consistent. Yeah, we're really trying to keep it like that into the future.
As of now, Sebago Lake's water quality is uniquely consistent for the Portland Water District customers. This clean, dependable water has a ripple effect, pun intended. Sebago Lake's water quality results in low-cost, good quality water for people and businesses in Portland. And it also means Sebago Lake and the surrounding forested land are the perfect backdrop for a variety of outdoor activities. Laurel brings up the positive effect this has on Maine's tourism industry, and I'll explore this more in later episodes.
One of the things that we didn't really talk about is the economy around it. So there's, the tourism economy, people coming to the lake, people coming to the watershed to do outdoor recreation. There is that huge benefit as well, which is, really really good for the state and for everyone who lives here. We talk about it as a resource and as a drinking water supply and all the scientific words we use, but it's also just really pretty and it's really nice to be out there. I love being on the lake. It's just to be out there and see it, experience its vastness, and, it's beautiful.
If you listen to Season 1 of Fish and Game Changers, you know our staff at the Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife love Maine's seasons. In later episodes of Fish and Game Changers on Tap, I talked to some of our biologists working in the Sebago Lake region. During my chat with Laurel, I asked why she loves Maine and the work she does for the Portland Water District. Her answer may sound familiar.
My job, there's a seasonality to it that I like a lot. Like I said, when you asked me why I like Maine, I like the seasons. I like that, everything's changing all the time. With my job, it's pretty similar. It's, in the winter, we do the office work, and then in the spring, things start waking up. There gets to be a little bit more energy, and then in the summertime, things ramp up, and we're outside, and we're doing monitoring, and we're meeting with homeowners, and then in the fall, it gets a little bit quieter, and then we settle down for the winter. So that's something that I really like about it.
Remember that group Sebago Clean Waters that is trying to conserve another 15% of the watershed? Laurel mentions an unexpected partner.
Yeah, yep. We've had a lot of great support from the breweries in Portland.
Wait, did she say breweries?
Allagash has donated money to Sebago Clean Waters. Bissell Brothers made us a nice water bottle and is donating some of the proceeds from that to Sebago Clean Waters. Foundation brewed a beer for Earth Day last year and donated the proceeds from that. So yeah, we have a lot of great support from the breweries.
The great quality water not only benefits boaters, anglers, and the people who drink the water in Portland, but also the many, many craft breweries, big and small, located in the Portland Water District. But why do the breweries have such an invested interest in the water quality?
So most of them don't have to do any treatment or adjustment to the water when it comes in. I think some of them do remove the chlorine, but I know that Allagash doesn't do anything. So that's important for them because it keeps their costs down too. So if they had to treat the water to begin with, then it would be more expensive. One of the things that we have heard from them is that the consistency in the water quality is really important to them. So one thing about Sebago Lake is the water quality pretty much never changes. So as they're using the water, they can count on it being the same quality every day. And so they get a really consistent product, and it just makes it a lot easier for them.
I'm curious about this connection between the watershed and the breweries, so I decided to visit a few of them. On next week's episode, I go on a tour of Allagash Brewing Company. Then I sit down with Jason Perkins, their brewmaster, to discuss how clean water affects their final product. To learn more about this series, Fishing Game Changers on Tap, visit mefishwildlife.com/changers. To stay up to date with the most recent episodes, hit subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.